Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Rotary Club of Carbondale. Thank you to Jim Grant for being our greeter today. Just to keep down on the background noise, if you would, I'm going to mute everybody. Just unmute yourself when you have a question. Jerry, will you unmute yourself and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
The Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Jerry. Ella Lacey, will you please lead us in a moment of reflection?
I certainly will. This quote is about 100 years old, but I think you will find it as relevant as ever. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. And that was Henry Ford. Thank you.
Thank you, Ella. I had to write that down.
Okay.
This video came to me from a fellow Rotarian. I'm going to play just a minute or so of it, but I'll put the link in the email that we send out. I'll tell the world together. Some hands have fought wars forever. Tell me, what shall I do? And some hands like the living people. Some hands I'll free the world from evil. So tell me, what shall I do? These hands of mine. What shall I do with these hands of mine? What shall I do with these hands of mine? Will you use a hero of the image time? So tell me, what shall I do with these hands of mine? So if you want to hear the rest of the video, the link will be in the notes, but I just thought we'd play just a couple minutes of that. Rick, do you see any guests with us today?
We do have visiting Rotarian Deepa with us today. I don't see any others, but welcome, Deepa. Welcome to Carbondale Noon Rotary.
Couple of club announcements before Deepa talks to us about Rotaract. I still have a few of these masks. I have them both in yellow and in blue, so if you still want one, just contact me and I'll mail you one. Ella, have you heard anything on the promise for Haiti? Did the package arrive yet?
It arrived in Florida, but it will be a few weeks, probably it'll be in this month before they get on the plane to Pinyon. They are eagerly awaiting them.
Good. Jill Gobert, are you still with us?
Hello.
I just unmuted you. You're good to go.
Okay, hello.
Hi, Jill.
How is the SIH food drive going?
Very well. Cindy, I don't know if Cindy's on the call. She's been keeping us very busy, and our last gift was from the Rotary Club of Carbondale. And did you get my picture, Shane, of?
Yeah, the pictures are on the screen in front of everybody right now that has video.
Okay, great. So the staff are really thankful for these healthy snacks. Early on, we got a lot of food donations, like pizza and stuff like that, but there's a lot of people who work night shifts and don't have a lot of time for lunch. So stocking the break rooms with healthy snacks is greatly appreciated.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, Jill.
I know Cindy has actually some additional shopping she's going to do. And we've had so many for Carbondale, I'm going to start looking at St. Joe's and Heron.
Excellent. What's the most popular snack in the snack room?
Well, probably like the unhealthiest healthy snack, you know, the granola bars with chocolate chips are pretty popular. Almost a candy bar, but not quite.
Very good. I did talk to Patty Stokes again this morning. The lunch at the Carbondale Warming Center today is a very popular, going to be a popular one. It's roasted turkey with mashed potatoes and gravy, green beans, and salad. So that should go over quite well. So thank you for your donations to that project. It continues to serve a good cause. So I hope that you would continue considering donating money so we can continue this project. The Carbondale Mass Project, I did talk to Harvette this morning. She's excited that we're continuing this project. So anybody that contacts me through maskcarbondale@gmail.com, I do send masks out. I think we're up to probably 20 or so now that I've mailed out. So it continues to go. I've not broadcasted it on social media because I didn't want to run out in one day. So word of mouth, it's traveling pretty well. So if you know somebody, just have them contact me. Gail, do you want to give an update on the Carbondale Warming Center for their material needs?
Hey,
Sure.
Shane, before we do that, it looked like Jerry had a question.
Sorry. Go, Jerry.
Well, the Unitarian Fellowship is now providing a meal on Thursday nights for the Warming Center. And then we got notice that when the school lunches quit, because the extra ones were brought to the Warming Center, they don't have lunch there either. So I have personally committed on the behalf of our club to produce one lunch per week for them. And so what I do is call Carmelita at the beginning of the day that I'm going to do it so that I'm not crossing any lines with anybody else. And then they're very appreciative for any food that's prepared. So just let people know that there's still a need, and Rotary's activities have been amplified. Thank you.
Excellent. Gail?
Yes, I don't know if Ed Reeder is on or not on the club meeting today, but thank you, Ed, for your donation this past week of a large microwave oven. It's a commercial oven that he purchased and donated to the Warming Center. I delivered it last week and they were very happy to receive it. They still could use shelving. I purchased one of those plastic stacking, easy assemble shelving units, and that seems to be a good usable item, but they're trying to, I think, keep clothing and miscellaneous items separate from among the different residents that they're serving there. So that seems to be an ongoing need. And then as Jerry has generously offered any food contributions, I know a couple of groups who are discussing trying to work together to provide meals for the Warming Center. So thank you to Ed for this past week, and for Carl and Linda flowers, and let's see who gave, in Shane for your donation of shelving, and I think that's everybody who I'm aware of who has donated things, other than some of you I know are contributing privately, financially and otherwise to the Warming Center. So thank you.
Thank you, Gail, for the update. I wanted to focus a little bit of time before we get to our presentation on our 100 little things. On the screen right now is the 9 projects that, while we're not together, these 9 projects are done. We've done the sock project. I donated some firewood to a local campground last week, so that project was on the list and it's done. The snacks at SIH, face masks, face shields, the toothbrush and dental projects that Faith mentioned last week, that one's done. The meals that we're providing at the Carbondale Warming Center, and through the assistance with the laundry project, we've done over 100 loads of laundry. So while we're not together, we continue to move forward. So I'd say we're doing pretty good. Things that are underway, just the list is on the screen. I know that one of them that we probably need to focus on is holiday gift cards to active military. I did check on a couple of places where those can be delivered. Those normally have to be turned in by early September so they can be packaged and sent to military troops. So if it's something you're thinking about, let me know and we'll coordinate how to get that done in a timely manner before we run out of time in September. The list of club donations is unchanged for the last month. Gala is up for June, so let's make sure that she meets her $100 donation to the club. So let's continue to give to the foundation. District news, there's nothing new. The district governor's visit is still slated for July 8th. Rotary International news, there's nothing new at the moment. The conference is still on for a virtual environment. If you're interested in it, it's www.riconvention.org. A lot of the information is there. And is there any good news from anybody they'd like to share? If you would, please unmute yourself and give us some good news. We need some.
Hey Shane, it's Rick here. I did receive a package from Lorraine in advance of her meeting with us, and she shipped me the flag, the Rotary International Holger Knack flag. Rotary opens opportunities, so we do have one of these for our club directly from Lorraine. And she also sent me about 35 of her business card with the district governor information on it and a pin, one of the Rotary Opens Doors pins for our members. So I don't know how exactly I'm going to get these out to everybody, but she did supply us with those, and I want to make sure I share those with everybody in the club. Going to try to get them to everybody before our meeting when she joins us, so that we can display those for her, and it'll be great to have her there in July.
Can you hold up that flag again? I want to take a screenshot of it. Now you got to put your face in it too.
Hang on. Unmirror the video so you can actually see it.
Okay, I got it. Thank you. Well, Lorraine also sent me something too, so I'm going to give some good news. I got, if you can see this, I got my assistant governor's name badge in the mail for Zone 10. So that's my bit of good news for the day is, for better or for worse, it looks like I'm going to be assistant governor for this zone. So anybody else have any good news to share?
We're all doomed.
Hazel, next Monday is Hazel and I will celebrate our 50th wedding anniversary. And part of the reason I agreed to give to the club was in honor of that. So I'm very grateful for 50 wonderful years.
Congratulations. Does anybody else have any good news? Gail White, you still with us? Do you want to be Sergeant at Arms today?
Sure, I'd be happy to. There are no fines today. Everything that I'm hearing from all the reports up to this point, everyone's being very generous and doing good things. So congratulations and thank you to everyone for your continued generosity. And if you haven't followed through yet with a thank you to those who are on the front lines helping to safeguard all of us, please do that.
Well, it's time to introduce our guest speaker, Deepa. I just made you host, so if you want to share your screen, you're on.
Thank you, Shane. Hi, everyone. Namaste. This is me, Rotary and Deepa Pathak. My hometown is in Butwal, Nepal, and I'm the past president of Rotaract Club of Butwal South for Rotary year 2017 and 18. And I used to work as a banker back in my hometown, and I used to work as a policy advisor for our factories and companies back in Nepal. But right now, my husband is doing his PhD in agriculture science here in SIU, so I'm with him. And right now, I'm engaged with Rotary Club Carbondale Breakfast. I'm supporting Carbondale Breakfast as an international service chair. And currently, I'm also engaged with Wild Heart Concept, which is an branding and concept communication thing. If you have something problem related to your website, if you want to do the branding and make your website new, then I'm there to contact for. So that's my introduction. Now I'll go back to the Rotaract in Nepal. So I have listed a little bit of a brief introduction of Nepal in my presentation, a little bit, just a glimpse of Rotary in Nepal. And I'll be talking more about Rotaract and then just few slides of Interact. So here I start the brief introduction of Nepal. So Nepal is a landlocked country. Like China is about 65 times bigger, and then India is like 22 times bigger than Nepal. So Nepal, it has like never been colonized by any other country else. So the area of Nepal is similar to Illinois. It's like 56,956 square miles in Nepal, whereas Illinois is 57,915. But the population in Nepal is like 29.62 million, whereas in Illinois we have like 12.67 million only. So economy of Nepal is agriculture is 17%, industry-wise it's 13.50, service 60.50, and tourism is 9%. We have the service in economy of Nepal because most of the people are going abroad for jobs and everything. So most of the income source of our country depends upon the remittance that comes through the workers from other countries. This is our national flag. This is our national flag. This is the only non-quadrilateral national flag in the world. So this is the Nepali calendar. I have like a little bit fun fact about it because in Nepal, we have our own calendar, and right now in Nepal, it's 2077. Right now it's 2020 over here, but in Nepal, it's like 2077 because it's approx like 56 years, 8 months like ahead of English calendar. In today's date, if I had to say, it's 21st of second month, 2077. And yes, we do have 365 days a year. And a little bit about the people and the places that are important to Nepal. He is Lord Buddha, who was born in Lumbini, Nepal. And Lumbini is actually like 20 miles far from my hometown. And Buddhism was founded in 6th century BC by Lord Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, and he's also known as the Light of Asia. So he's the founder of Buddhism. And we all know the Mount Everest. It's the highest mountain. The peak of Mount Everest is 29,035 feet above the sea level. We have like 82 mountain peaks, though the size of our country is the size of Illinois, but we have like 82 mountain peaks in Nepal. and 8 of the among top 10 are in Nepal. 8 mountains among the top 10 are in Nepal. These are just a few pictures of mountains we have in our country. And recently, this interesting thing was discovered in April 2019. Indian Army, while they were in expedition, they found a Yeti footprint in Makalu base camp. So I thought just sharing it. And about geography of Nepal, as we see those white lines, white dots, like white part, that is only the Himalayan part. We have like 3 different parts. And only in this area, we have like more than 80 peaks. Other than that, it's hilly and plain. Our Himalayan is only 15%. Most of the people think like Nepal might be like really cold or something, but only the 15% of Nepal is like super cold. There are the mountains and Himalayas, but other hilly and plains are like the weather are pretty fine. So this is how the Himalayan area looks in Nepal. So there are like 50 mountains exceeding like 7,200 meter, and like 10 or 8,000 meter peaks. So this is our typical hilly area looks like, and it covers like 68%. Some of the major cities are also in hilly area like Kathmandu, Pokhara. Most of the beautiful cities are in the hilly area. And this is my hometown. I live in the plains, and this is more related to industries and agriculture sector. So we come to the food. This is our typical lunch we have in Nepal. We call it dal bhat tarkari. It's made up of lentils. Soup is made up of lentils, and its tarkari is vegetable curry, and bhat means rice, and all others are pickles and salads. So momo is like pretty famous worldwide, and this is one of the most eaten food in Nepal. And there are like, we have like different types of geographic things. So we have different adventure sports, and famous are mountain climbing, trekking, rock climbing, paragliding, bungee, and rafting. These are some of the pictures. And Nepal is not only the land of mountains, but we do celebrate lots of festivals in Nepal. We celebrate more than 50 festivals every year. And these are some of our national festivals, which are like directly related to Nepal: Dasai, Tees, Kumari, and Lakhe. But these are some of the international festivals which we also celebrate in Nepal, like Christmas, Eid, Holi, Buddha Purnima. And we also worship animals and birds, like snakes. We have a day for a dog. We worship dogs, and cow is our national animal. So we worship cows and snakes and birds and even trees sometimes. So that's the part of it. And one. So now I'll be talking about Rotary in Nepal. The first Rotary Club in Nepal was Rotary Club of Kathmandu, which was established in 1958. But the movement was not much back then. So actually the Rotary movement started after 1980. There were like numbers of Rotary clubs established. Rotary in Nepal is called, is District 3292, but it's Nepal and Bhutan district because it consists of 116 clubs, but 109 from Nepal, only the 7 clubs are from Bhutan. So the Rotary International actually like merged both the countries together. And right now, the numbers of Rotarians in our country are more than 4,000, and Rotary year starts as everywhere else, like July 1st to June 30th. So this is one of the main projects Rotary accomplished in Nepal. Since 1990, the number of polio cases has been reduced. There used to be a number of really high number of polio cases back then, like 3,000 a year, but so in 2008 we had like only 300, but after 2010 Nepal is a polio-free country. So right now mostly Rotary is focused. Rotary Nepal is mostly focused on literacy mission. It's called TEACH program, which means teacher support, e-learning, adult literacy, child development, and happy school. These are the main projects where Rotary are like totally focused on these days in Nepal. And Rotary also does some RILA. This is the 2016 RILA conference, which was held here in Washington, D.C. And I got to participate in this. And this is a picture of RILA in Nepal. We have RILA like 2 or 3 times a year in Nepal. And this is one of the biggest contribution to our community from Rotary. This is the Gautam Buddha Community Heart Hospital, because Nepal is one of the like really developing country. So we don't have really big hospitals. If we have to go to really good hospitals, then we have to go to a capital city like Kathmandu or other big cities. But in the western part, there were not any like cardiac or kidney related hospitals. So the Rupandehi Chamber of Industry and Rotary and Rotaract, we all build this community hospital. So now the people from the western part of Nepal don't have to go to the capital city for the cardiac and kidney related problems. So this is pretty huge that Rotary has like given to our society. It has like made lots of difference. Due to this hospital, we have been able to save lots of life in western part of Nepal. So this is like a little bit glimpse of Rotary, what they are doing in Nepal. And now I'll be talking about Rotaract in Nepal. So Rotaract in Nepal was started in 1991. Currently, there are 132 clubs with 13 zones. And we have like 2 types of Rotaract clubs. One is university-based and another is community-based. My Rotaract Club of Butol South was the community-based club. And we have like 6,727 Rotaractors right now in Nepal, whereas like Rotarians are like around 4,000, but number of Rotaractors are like increasing daily. So this is how the district governs. So we elect district Rotaract representative DRR every year by voting. The president of all clubs actually vote the nominees, and then we select a president. And a committee is formed by the DRR to function, and all the Rotaract clubs have to follow the guidelines through district. And the award and the recognition ceremonies are organized by the district committee. So this is one of the district events president and secretary made. It's actually the president and secretary meet, but other like normal general members also, we just tend to like go and have fun together and then just learn and then meet new Rotaractors in these types of events. And other program the Rotaract district does is the Mr. and Miss Rotaract. This is the platform where Rotaractors showcase their skill, personality, talent. And this is also really popular in our district, like Rotaract Nepal. And this is the district conference where the DRR is elected. We have like fun fellowship discussions in this program. So it is one of the major event organized by a district. And the other thing is after district, there are like zonal meetings, and which is hosted by the zonal Rotaract representative. And in this type of meetings, only the president and secretaries are participated, and we discuss about the zonal and district events. And in Rotaract, the activities are mostly based on these 8 categories. So every project, every programs we do, it has to be under these 8 categories. They are like training workshop. It should be either for state vocational trainings, awareness programs like COVID awareness, AIDS awareness, drug abuse awareness, like material distributions to flood victims, schools, supporting community. So, and blood donation, fundraising for natural calamities, and personal and professional development, and building networks, celebration or festivals, fun and fellowship. So all the programs we do, all the projects we do has to fall under these categories. So this is the Rotaract Model United Nation. This is one of the major program we do in Nepal. It involves like, it teaches participants speaking, debating, writing skills, and in addition to like critical thinking, teamwork, leadership. So, and we can also discuss on the international issues which is happening in the community. So this is a picture of our moon. And I prepare a little bit of slides what Rotaracts are doing right now in the lockdown moment, because Nepal has been locked down for 70 days now due to COVID-19. So these are the moments, because 25% or more of the people are below the poverty line. So many of them are like daily wages workers. So it's been like really hard for them to survive these days. So Rotaracts and other Rotary and other non-profit organizations are like really helping these people out by giving out groceries or feeding them or donating blood at this moment, whoever needs it. And other programs they have been doing virtually are like meet your personality kind of thing, and then DIY gardening and psychological first aid during COVID-19, cyber security webinar, agriculture training program, professional development in banking training, virtual Excel training. And they are also promoting, and the other programs are like related to healthcare workers and some mental health. And then we are like collecting the groceries item and then delivering them to the needy, like underprivileged people. And I'm really glad that and thankful to Rotary Club of Carbondale Breakfast. They also contributed some amount for this project, and this was actually donated by Rotary Club of Budol South. And this is the PPE, like reusable PPE in Nepal. It was like really hard for health workers to find the PPE. So we actually donated them like 30 sets of PPE to the community hospitals during this outbreak. And this is one of the important projects that's been going right now in Nepal. It's the Red Dot Challenge. It's a menstruation matters, no period shaming, because menstruation is still a taboo prohibiting like women and girls from participating in normal families activities, while it's considered like impure, and it's still a thing in Nepal. Like I think the 80% of the people, like women, never talk about menstruation hygiene, or they don't take like much precautions on those things. So this is what Rotaract is doing right now. Like they are starting this program. It's called the Radar Challenge, and this is like supported by UNICEF. So this is a pretty nice project they have been doing right now. So this is the Rotaract Club of Budol South. This used to be my home club, and it was chartered in 20th April 2004. 88 members. Right now there are like 88 members with 19 board members, but back then when I was a president, I had like 120 members with 21 board members. And we publish club directories, diaries, print club t-shirts, mugs, collect funds from advertisement and sponsorship. That's how we run. We don't really get funds from Rotary clubs or other clubs, because we are the community based, so we sustain on our own. So this is what our normal general meeting would look like. So we meet every alternate Saturdays, and board meetings, we meet once a month for a board meeting. This was the board members, and it's really hard for a girl to be a part of any big organizations in Nepal, because still it's a male dominated society. So girls has to be like really come out to be putting that mark in Nepal. It's pretty hard for a girl. Still there is a gender biasness and discrimination still going on, but it's getting much better these days, but there is still some of those things. And this is the handover and installation ceremony of whenever I was taking the presidency. It is my installation ceremony, and the chief guest was Mr. Pradeep Gewali. He's a Minister of Foreign Affairs. So in Nepal, being a president of reputative Rotaract club is a really big thing. So you can actually like invite any political leaders or any important VIP personalities to your event, and they won't like hesitate to come over there because Rotaract has so much a big impact in the Nepalese community and society. And for taking the presidency, I before used to work for a bank because the Rotaract presidency is not that easy in Nepal. So I actually had to quit my job to be a president. So I actually quit my job and then I just became like a full-time president at the moment. And in my presidency, I was able to do like more than 60 projects in a year. So, and these are some programs we do as a Rotaract club back in Nepal, like tree plantation and conservation programs. And blood donation program is really one of the major big programs we do from Burol South. Rotaract Burol South is one of the like highest second blood donating organization after Red Cross, among other 100 of other social organizations in Western Development Region. We were currently awarded for providing the emergency relief for 99 people during the dengue outbreak. And this year we have been collecting like 459 pins of blood till now. So the other programs we take part are in polio rallies. And this is how we do the fundraise. We print t-shirts, we print mugs, and we also print the directory, and we have like advertisement in those things. So we actually collect sponsors and advertisement money from those directories and then run our club. And we also organize events and raffles, and we also accept donations and contributions. So this was one of the fund collection for flood victims in Nepal during the rainy seasons. We do have lots of floods, and in the poorer area, people who are like underprivileged, they don't have like really stable house. They're always affected. And then this time we actually were able to collect $3,000, and these were like pocket monies from students and from the college kids who like saved from their pocket money, and then they actually contributed, and then we actually were able to build house for flood victims, like 20 houses with the help of government over there. Like we actually were able to build the 20 houses for the flood victims. So the other major event that happened during my presidency was the free basic tailoring training for 3 months. This project was aimed to empower the disadvantaged women to provide skill and development opportunities. So we actually provided the basic tailoring training for 3 months. This was like really big. And then this actually helped 30 female participants who were inspiring to be an entrepreneur. So, and this basic tailoring was given to those females who were trying to make positive dent in the society but couldn't get the opportunity. And I'm really glad to share this, as this was a project that was actually recognized by the Rotary International and selected for Rotaract Outstanding Project finalist. This project was one of the top 6 projects of South Asia regions. So that was really a good achievement for our club too. And we also do club networking. Like we actually went to Goa, Panjim, India, and then we signed a twin club with Rotaract Club of Panjim, India. And we also participate with local government bodies. And this is a simple distribution of sanitation and first aid kit to orphanage. And we also host and organize sports tournament. And these were like recently on news too. It's the 7th Rotaract Running Shield Volleyball Tournament. So it's a running shield that Rotaract Club of Burol South actually organizes. So it's like really people like Rotary and Rotaract both come together and play volleyball. So it's really fun event. So everybody participates in this. And the other program we do every year is the adult literacy support where we encourage and support women to pursue educations. And mostly the women are on their mid 40s or mid 50s. So these women are like really excited when we come and talk to her, and then when we just sit with them and then listen to their motivational speeches. And this is one of the important projects we have been doing for last 5 to 6 years now. So this is the lower level school where we supply school dresses, stationeries, and woolen cloths. And actually the students were like really less in numbers because they couldn't afford to go to school. They couldn't buy stationery items. They couldn't buy the dresses. So there were only 23 numbers. So when we started actually helping them out, the number actually rose to 56. So we do that as our SAP area project, and we go there every year and then just help the school out. And we also do the free health camp, and we actually help 150 workers, and we give them free checkup and free medicines. And we also help the old age homes. And we have, our club has been helping this old age home for like last 5 years. And the blessings and the appreciation we get from these people are like, it's blissful. It's really intimidating. So that was about a little bit of a Rotaract, and here's just few things that Interacts are doing right now in Nepal. So this is the Interact committee in Nepal right now. And these are they just recently organized the e-Raila. There were supposed to be Raila, but it couldn't happen because of the COVID thing. So they didn't stop because of COVID. They actually organized the e-Raila. So these are the students, they were like doing artwork or cooking or having some fun, just attending e-Raila. And there are other programs like the Interact clubs are doing, like nationwide art competitions, Project GMB, and these were the arts that stood like first position and second position in art competitions. Yeah, thank you. That's all I have right now. So any questions?
I have a question, Deepa.
Yeah.
What do you think the largest accomplishment was during your presidency? What was the biggest project that you would say was the biggest accomplishment?
I would say the 3 months basic tailoring course that actually helped the women, and actually some of the women actually pursue it as their career, and that actually benefited them for like helping them to be independent. And then that was like they were like self-sustaining after doing those kind of projects. So that was like a really big thing for me, because in my community there were like really underprivileged women, and they used to like work really manual labor work over, like they were not ready to do those things. So I think that was the one I think I would be like be proud of doing, because last time when I was back home, they were actually opening, like 2 or 3 of them actually opened a tailoring shop and then started it as a business. So that was really inspiring thing for me. Yeah.
Deepa, can you hand hosting back over to me?
Yeah, I'm just trying. Okay. Just a second. Okay, it's not happening.
You'll have to close it.
Let me.
What would you say is the biggest difference between living in Nepal and living here in the States?
Oh, the biggest difference is like, of course, it's the situation, the community, and the people, the way we do things over there, and the things that how the things work over here. Our necessities are different from the projects we do over here. So I think it's more over those things, but mostly we all are humans. So some of the things are like similar, but the way we tend to express our things are totally different. The way we express over there is we are more loud, we are more dominant, but here we need to be like subtle, soft. I think. Yeah. And so how do I like change this? How do I give this to
Can
you?
you just right click on me and see if it will let you give it back to me?
Okay.
Do you see my picture?
Yeah, I do.
Does it give you the option to make host?
No, it says put in a waiting room. Just that. Let me remove me from host if I can. Oh no, I couldn't.
Faith, do you want to unmute yourself and ask the question while she's figuring that out?
Sure. To follow up on Rick's question, as far as the differences, do you think that there are more or less restrictions to provide the service or to gain access to those individuals that you need to serve? And
good afternoon. I'm Commander Ibad Khan, and I'm representing the Clinician Outreach and Communication.
So you mean here or in Nepal? Like the restriction over there or over here? Like in terms of Nepal?
Just general restrictions.
Oh, okay. So the thing is, like, I was born there, so I'm used to, so I feel it's normal to be there, right? So it feels like home. Like I have been raised in that society, so nothing felt like a restriction. Oh, finally happened, I think.
I got it.
Thank you. Yeah. So generally, it's like I never felt those kind of restriction. Yeah, there are a few, like our society. Whenever I saw in the media or overall, like whenever we saw in the news, the freedom about here in US, how the women were like more progressive and then more expressive about those things. In Nepal, like we had to be like really subtle, really bad. We had to like just reserved ourselves. That's how we were being raised. But sometimes it was like really outraged, those kind of things. When we used to see, when we got more access to the outer world, when we got more access to the Western society, before we used to feel like it was normal because we never had those things. But now when we see the world, it feels like, yeah, I think we needed more of those kind of things. So, and it's actually changing. Mostly in Nepal, still, even in my family, like not my mom, but my grandmother, because when we had period, we were not we were not allowed to touch to a man. Like they say, like we are impure kind of thing. So that's how the things were. And even in the remote areas, it's still the same. And people are actually dying because they have to leave outside their house on those days. So these are the things we thought they were normal back then because that's how the things were. But when we were like more expressed to the other world, like how the things are, and then we thought like it was more like an outrage for us. So yeah, it has like changed a lot in our community.
Does anybody have any follow-up questions for Deepa?
Yeah.
Julian, go ahead and unmute yourself. Let me see if I can
you hear
unmute
me
you,
now?
Julian.
My question is Nepal a predominantly Hindu country?
No, it's a secular, I think. I mean, we don't have any particular, I mean, before it was a Hindu country, but now it's not. We are like open to every religion right now. I mean, we do have holidays and Christmas, Eid, and every other religion. So.
And is English taught in schools at all grades, or? Because
Yeah.
I notice a lot of your signage is in English.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, actually, it's like because India were like they were Britishers,
Right.
like in India, so that actually affected our education system a lot. So we have like Nepali is our national language, but as in secondary language, English is also taught side by side. So if we are studying, like English is compulsory from grade 4 to like to the all higher level of studies. So if we are studying in boarding schools, then English is compulsory from your pre-KG or grade 1. So it is like coming simultaneously in school.
So is Nepalese based on Sanskrit, your written language?
It's actually similar to Sanskrit, but language are Devanagari, but it's really, I mean, we have like Hindi and Nepali are similar, but
Okay.
we write similarly, the same script, Devanagari script, but the language is a bit different.
Okay.
But it's similar. Yeah, but it's mostly derived from Sanskrit.
Quick comment. Deepa, I hope you will be consultant advisor to our International Services Committee. And we'd like to call on you. This was a wonderful presentation. And I think Zoom was a good format for it. I really think it was just great. So
thank you. Thank you.
I'll be calling.
Yay. I'm so
Well,
excited.
Deepa, the international committee is going to meet right after this meeting if you want to stick around and talk to Ella and her committee.
Sure,
Be
sure.
very welcome to do
I would
so.
love that. I would love that.
Does anybody have any questions before we wrap up today? Next week,
would
Nick
like to
Skargar is
invite
our speaker.
Shane,
Go ahead,
we would
Ella.
like
Sorry.
to invite all the any other member, whether they consider themselves a member of the committee already or not, please stay if you're available. We won't be long, not more than 30 minutes, I'm sure. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. The next week's speaker is Nick Skargar. He's going to talk about the Jackson County CEO program and other youth services programs that are here in Jackson County. And Sierra, will you lead us in the four-way test? Are you up for the four-way test today?
Sure. Okay, so the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And thanks for this, that helped me remember.
Thank you, Sierra. Well, everybody have a great afternoon. Ella, I'm going to hand it over to you, and you can run your committee. If everybody's welcome to stay in the committee. If not, we will see you next week.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Deepa.
Thank you, Shane.
What